Thank you so much, everyone, for taking out the time today to join us for this workshop. This is the first workshop by Edge by Pearl Academy. My name is Aviral, and I, along with my colleague, Mr. Raj Salagre, who is an Unreal Engine authorized instructor, will be conducting this workshop. Mr. Raj Salagre has also joined us as a lecturer in game design, and he will be conducting our full-time courses in Pearl Edge. So, what is Pearl Edge? Edge basically, we plan to provide you courses, skill-based short courses in the fields of animation, visual effects, virtual production, and game development. And in fact, I'm actually proud to say that we'll be the first institute to offer virtual production courses in India. This is something which is not being offered to you, at the moment in any other institute. Uh, Edge by Pearl Academy is backed by Pearl Academy, which has a legacy of 28 years. Pearl Academy is actually India's leading institute in design, fashion, business, and media. We offer 40 uniquely designed creative courses across our campuses in Delhi, Mumbai, Jaipur, and Bangalore. I'll request Raj to please play the video wherein you can get an insight about Edge and have an understanding about the courses. Thanks. Yeah, so I hope that you all like the video. This is what we will be offering to all our students. So, this is something, you will actually learn how to animate, how to create, motion graphics, how to basically get into the fields of animation and, create a short movie by yourself. And now, if I actually talk about it, India in particularly the Bollywood film industry is really advancing towards visual effects and animation. We've all seen it in movies like Avengers, Avatar, all the Marvel comic movies. But now India is gradually picking up pace, and we understand that there is a lot of dearth for industry experts. And Edge by Pearl Academy plans to cover up this gap, and that is the reason why we've introduced these courses. And I can assure you that once you graduate from our programs, you will become an expert in the related fields. So the courses will be offered in different formats. Our first campus will be in Bangalore, which is at Residency Road. And then we will be gradually introducing an online course as well as a blended module, which will be introduced in the later part of the year, preferably around June or July. Raj, may I request you to please go on slide 4? Yes. Thank you. So we have also co-partnered with Trazos. Trazos is the best school in animation in Spain. It's the third best in Europe and the seventh best in the world. We have also partnered with IMAG Masterclasses, which should be offering, masterclasses from the top digital artists from all across the world. And the best part is that these classes will be offered complimentary to all our students. If I talk about it, the average fee for an IMAG masterclass is about 6,000 to 7,000 rupees per annum. Raj, may I request you please go on slide 7, please? Next slide, please. Yeah, sorry. So these are the different courses that we have on offer. We will be offering courses in the fields of video game production, compositing with NukeX, VFX with Houdini, animation with Autodesk Maya. All these platforms are the best in the industry and will enable all our students to become experts in the latest trends and techniques of animation and related fields. We will also be offering a 9 months virtual production course with Unreal Engine. And as mentioned earlier, this will be the first offering in India. For those who are working professionals, we and cannot devote 9 months, we also have a 3 month bootcamp programs, which you guys can enroll yourselves for. So this will give you a basic understanding in different courses in Unreal Engine, motion graphics, and computer graphics. Well, I can definitely assure you that all our courses will be unparalleled and unmatched, and will give you an exponential learning curve. I will also request everybody to please, while the session is going on, please put in your questions in the chat box so that we can conduct a short, Q&A session at the end of the workshop. And Mr. Raj Salagre will be addressing the same. Once again, a warm welcome, and I hope you enjoy today's session. Thank you. Now I will request Raj to please take over. Thanks.
Thank you, Avril, for telling us what Pearl Edge is all about. I hope I'm audible. And first of all, I'd like to thank you all for attending today's workshop. As we all know, today's workshop is about Unreal Engine, how we can make amazing 3D environments. And we'll see how I'll be personally giving you some insights about what Unreal Engine is, what it is capable of, and what it can do. And I personally believe that Unreal Engine is here to change the way we are working in the industry right now. And it is a great tool to learn and have it under your portfolio, because it is going to change each and every industry. And believe me, it is doing that. It is changing each and every industry right now. And we at Perlish, that is why we at Perlish have chosen Unreal Engine to teach you the software of future, which is currently available. Now, before getting started, let me introduce myself. My name is Raj Salagre. I'm an Unreal Authorized Instructor and faculty at Edge. My major specialization in gaming industry is level design, materials, lighting. Basically, you can call me as an look dev artist. I have also teaching experience of more than 4 years in game design and development. And these are some of my previous work which I have worked on. I have also specialization in architecture visualizations and augmented reality as well. Now, I will be showing you a short video of an environment which I created last week using Unreal Engine. So let me play that video for you guys. As you saw, this environment was created using only Unreal Engine. No other software was involved in while creating this environment. I will also be showing you how you can approach to make these kind of environment. So stay tuned for that. And uh, let us have a look at today's learning objective for this workshop. Firstly, we'll start with what is Unreal Engine and where it is being used. We'll see how, from where we can install Unreal Engine. After that, we'll open up the Unreal software and look at the different editors which are available for us to create level design, do materials, lighting, and how we can make a game interactive without writing a single line of code. And lastly, we'll look at the Unreal Engine Bootcamp course, which is provided by Pearl Edge, and how it can help you get started with Unreal Engine and with your career. So I hope everyone is ready for today's workshop. I am excited to share my knowledge with you. And like as Aviral said, if you have any questions regarding today's workshop or our courses as well, you feel free to put them on chat. We'll try to address them in the later section of our workshop. So now, without further ado, let's get started with our session. First is, what is Unreal Engine? Unreal Engine is a game engine which was developed by Epic Games. Some of you guys might be knowing Epic Games via Fortnite, one of the popular games which has been also developed by Epic Games. Now, before knowing Unreal Engine, let us understand what is a game engine. A game engine is a platform for your games to run on, to load levels, have physics, animations, and whatnot. There are many kinds of game engines. Depending on your game's requirement, each one will differ. And in short, a game engine is a platform for your games where you can build your own games. Now, coming back to Unreal Engine, it is one of the popular platform for game development and creating cutting edge 3D environments. Now, it is an amazing and unique game engine which helps the user to create their own games, where it comprises various mechanisms to provide a platform for the users and help them to run their games. So now what Unreal is doing is, it is allowing the development team to focus on actually making the game rather than reinventing the wheel whenever they wish to do so. which means that if we have a game engine which can do all sort of functionalities, why not use that engine? So that's why Unreal Engine is available for us to create our own games. Now, photorealism is probably the first word which comes to mind when thinking about Unreal Engine. If you might have ever come across a cinematic cutscene, which might have been wondering if it's a real life image or created completely from scratch. Chances are that it might have been created using Unreal Engine. There might be chances where you might be playing a particular game which might have been using Unreal's engine technology. There are some, I'll be giving you some examples of games where like PUBG, Batman Arkham Knight, back in the days, Batman Arkham Knight used Unreal Engine. Unreal has wide range of tools under its bucket, and it gives users the license to create their own games and achieve photorealism. Now, as we speak about Unreal Engine, there is one terminology always associated with it, and that is real time. Real time 3D is absolutely the future. And why? Because if we compare it with the traditional pipeline, which used to get, it used to provide us slow renders, it was very time consuming. And at the end, we used to get a static output, which is a linear output. Now, if you want to make any changes to those outputs, you'll have to do all those things again. And it was very tedious to follow this kind of workflow. Now, comparing this with the real-time pipeline, which Unreal Engine is providing to you, we are now able to do live renders and iterations are much more faster. Along with faster iterations, we are now able to do collaborative workflow. With the help of that, we are now achieving an interactive output. Now, as everyone know, games are interactive. They are not linear like movies. So that is why the market size of real-time 3D is amazing. And it is growing year over year. And why? Because of the broad adoption by many industries. Now let us have a look at which are those industries which have adopted Unreal Engine in their pipeline, in their workflow. Uh, Currently, Unreal Engine is more than a game engine. Unreal is not only being used for game development, but it is also being used by many enterprises or non-game sectors. Unreal's photorealism is probably one of the key reasons why it got widely popular outside of the gaming industry in sectors such as architecture, automotive, film and TVs, broadcasting, live events, science, and even medical too. The possibilities are endless, and many users are showing more and more interest towards this kind of technology. And that is why Unreal Engine is being adopted by these various industries and in their pipeline. If I talk about film and TV, Unreal is being used as a visual effects tool, where virtual production is one of the key aspect of it. Like as Aviral said, one of the popular series, Mandalorian, has also used virtual production, which has been done inside Unreal Engine. So like I said, the possibilities are endless. And what Unreal is doing is, it is narrowing the gap between what is real and what is not. The future, this is the future of entertainment, and Unreal is at the forefront of it. And I'm glad that we at Pearl Edge providing you this platform to be at the forefront of the future. So now what I'll do is I'll be showing you how we can install Unreal Engine. So let me show you that. Excuse me. Now, first, in order to install Unreal Engine, we need to go to the Unreal's website, which is unrealengine.com. So this is the Unreal's website. You can go over here and get more information about the software, what it is capable of. But in order to install it, first we need to download Epic Games Launcher. So I will click on the download button at the top right. Now, Unreal is asking us to choose a license option. There are two types of licensing options. First one is publishing one, other one is the creators one. Now, the major difference between them is in the publishing one, you will be able to publish your games in different stores such as Epic Game Stores, Play Store, or any other store. In the creators one, it is majorly used for learning purpose. It is designed for students, for self-paced learning as well. Uh, an additional factor with creators licenses, there is no royalties attached with it. But in publishing license, there is royalty attached, which is 5% when your product succeeds. In this case, the product is game. Let's say you make a game and your game succeeds, which in return is basically creating a revenue of more than $1 billion. Then you'll have to pay 5% royalty to Epic Games. There is no royalty attached with it in the creators license. And I will highly advise you for the learning stage or learning the software of Unreal Engine, you to choose the creators license and download the Epic Games Launcher. Now, after clicking on download, the Epic Games Launcher will be installed. What you need to do is create a free account with Epic Games. Okay, which you can also create sign in with your other social handles as well. But create an account with Epic Games and then install Unreal Engine. That is it. You don't need to do anything else. You just need to install Epic Games Launcher for Unreal website. Choose a license, preferably the creators one, create a free account, and then install Unreal Engine. Now for today's workshop, I have already installed Epic Games on my machine. So let me show you how does it look like. So this is what Epic Games Launcher will look like, where I have already signed in with my account at the bottom. And over here, we can navigate. This is from here, we will be able to install Unreal Engine version. Now, if in order to install it, we'll have to click on the engine versions, click on add, and whichever version you want, select it and install it. Now, the size of each engine may vary from 12 to 15 GB. So I have already installed my Unreal Engine on my machine. So depending on your network speed, you'll be able to download Unreal Engine. I have already installed it. So let me show you what happens when we launch Unreal Engine, what it asks us. So at the top right, when we click on launch, it will look something like this. When you launch Unreal Engine, it will ask you to create a new project or open an existing one. So these are some of my previous projects which I was working on. But if you look closely under the project categories, these are those same sectors where Unreal Engine is being used. So if you want to create a game, we can select the games category. If you want to create film and TV, or if you want to do something with virtual production, select the film and TV categories, and so on and so forth. What it is doing is, it will make sure that some project settings are set up and it will be optimized for that particular workflow. So whichever category you select, some predefined settings will already be applied to them. So these settings can be changed later on. So no need to worry about that. If I select a particular category, I won't be able to change those settings. You will be able to change them. No need to worry about it. Now for today's workshop, let us select the games category. I'll click on next. When I click on next, it is asking me to choose a template. Now what you can do is you can choose a blank template and start developing your game, but that is no fun. What if I want to create a first-person shooter game? I can select a first-person template and create a first-person shooter game on top of this. Now, those who are not aware of first-person terminology, it is nothing but the camera is from the player's perspective. As you can see from this image, the camera is from the player's perspective. Now, coming back to templates, these templates give you the ability to have some sort of interactivity right out of the box, which means, for example, let's say if I want to create a car racing game like Asphalt or something, I can choose a vehicle advanced template over here, and I can use this template and create my own car racing game. Why? Because this template might have some functionality of cars, which can be acceleration, steering, braking. So I can use this car racing template, vehicle advanced template, and create my own car racing template. Similarly, I can also choose this puzzle template in order to create my puzzle game. Why? Because this puzzle template might have some game mechanics which are necessary for my puzzle game. So I can choose these templates for my benefit, for our benefit, to create a particular genre of a game. Now, these templates are not limited to a games category. So if I go back and show you, if I select the film and TV categories and go select over here, now I can select the virtual production template. If I want to do, like I said, if I want to do something with virtual production, there is a template which has already been provided by Unreal Engine, and I can use this and create my project using these templates. So I will highly advise and encourage you to choose a particular template. Why? So that we can get started with Unreal Engine. Depending on the genre you are creating, choose a particular template and start with it. Now, for today's workshop, I have already created a project where using the third person template. Now, in this third person is basically the camera is from the third person's perspective. So, which is usually around behind the player. Let me open that project and show you the interface of Unreal Engine 4 as well. And let's dive inside the software also. Let me open that up. This is what Unreal Engine interface will look like. Uh, Let me be more precise. Unreal Engine 4 interface, because Unreal Engine 5 is which is coming, the interface is completely different. By this year, I think so they will be releasing the Unreal Engine 5 version. But let us come back to Unreal Engine 4 interface, where let me just quickly run through what all each window does so that we are able to follow along to our workshop. Now, in the first center window, which we have, which I feel is very much important, is a viewport. This is where you will be designing your level, and you will be adding all your assets and placing them in a strategic way. Uh, like I said earlier, I had created this project using Unreal Engine third person template. So what Unreal has done is it has created a small little level for us, uh, where the where we have a character, where it has some platforms for him to walk and explore around. Similarly, we have some sky with some beautiful clouds. So over here in the viewport, what we are doing is just designing a level. That's it, nothing else. Now, at the right hand side, we have a world outliner. So let me just make it bigger. This is nothing but showing us a list view of whatever assets we have inside a level. So if I select my character, it will just give me a list view of my character. It has highlighted that this character is in my level currently. That is it about the world outliner. And at the bottom, we have a content browser. Now, this is where you will be organizing your projects with the help of some folders. And this is the place where you'll be importing all those assets which are not made inside Unreal Engine. Assets such as audios, images, videos, 3D models, which you can import and organize them. Now, organization is very much important, because when you're working in a team environment, it is recommended that you follow a proper naming convention, proper naming conventions for your folders. Like, as you can see, I have already named all my folders, so that if my team member comes and opens this project, they will easily identify where all different assets are. So in content browser, you're basically organizing your project assets. Now, at the left hand side, we have a place actor window, which will provide you some basic primitives which can be added inside your level. So I have some basic primitives which Unreal is providing. So I have the sphere. Now what I can do is I want to add this sphere inside my level. So I can click and drag it and place it wherever I want and leave it. And this sphere is now inside of my level. I can also add cylinder. So this is the cylinder, similarly placing it wherever I want. Now, this is not only limited to basic primitive shapes, we can also add some different actors, which as, let's say, I want to add a light into my scene. I can add this light. So this light has been added and I have placed it wherever I want. So this is about our place actors. Now, there is one terminology which I am saying actors. Why? Because whenever an asset is inside a level, that asset is called as an actor in Unreal Engine. So now, from now on, I will be referencing asset as an actor. So if I want to, I can add any number of actors and place it wherever I want. So place actors, as the name says, it will just place the actor, particular actor in your level, wherever you want. Now, one of the very important window, which I feel is the details panel. Let me just show you. So this is the details panel, which is at the right-hand side. Let me make it bigger. So what this does is, if you want to manipulate any property of a selected actor, you can do that inside details panel. So I have currently selected the sphere, which is over here. I've selected this sphere. Now I want to change the size, increase the size of this sphere. So what I can do is I can select this sphere and I can go inside the details panel and see which is the property which I can manipulate and increase the size of it. I have something called scale, which I know that will increase or decrease the size of a particular actor. So I want to increase it. I can specify a number, let's say twice the size. Now the size of the sphere has increased. Now, so whichever changes or whichever changes you want to make to a selected actor, you will be doing that inside the details panel, because these are some components which are attached to an actor. Okay, and then we'll be adding or making some changes over inside the details panel. Now, these are some few windows which I have just touched upon so that we can get started with the workshop. There are many more windows which are helpful for us to create a game. But for today's workshop, let us stick with these windows. Now, like I said, Unreal has created this level for us, this small little level. Let us play this level. I want to play this particular level. So what I can do is I can press play from the top toolbar over here. And when I press play, now I'm inside a game mode where I can control this character. So in order to do that, I can just move my mouse, and now I'm moving my mouse, and now my mouse is orbiting around my character, and I can even control my character with the with keyboards. So I'm just able to do that. And now I can jump. All these things can be done. Now let me just get out of this game mode. Now, why I'm emphasizing to choose a particular template, because let's say I wanted to create a third-person game. I have selected a third-person template. Now, as you saw, the functionalities for a character, the camera, collision is already created for me. So what I can do is I can create my own custom character and replace it with this mannequin, which the default character. And what else I need to do is I just need to create a new level, and I can publish my game. That is the power of a template, where we have some functionality already created. Why not use it? So that is why we have these windows, and I'm still emphasizing that to choose a particular template depending on the genre depending on the genre you are going to create a game. Now, for today's workshop, I have already added some assets. Let us look at those assets, and let us also look what sort of level we can create using those assets. So let me just open that map. Don't save. Excuse me. So this is the map. Let me make it full. These are those assets. Let me make it full screen so that we can see all those assets. So let us look what all these assets are. We have at the front, we have some different signboards which can be placed along the surface of buildings, where we can place. We have some color variations. Another variation is where we have some broken signs. Let us look at back what we have. At the back, we have, if I look carefully, these are floor tiles, which I can use. Different floors are there. Some of them are covered with manuals, some of them are open. I have some variations in scaffoldings, windows. I have some grungy looking walls. And at the back, we have over here some concrete walls, which we can see as similarly over here we have some pipes. Different shapes and sizes of pipes are available. Now let me tell you this these assets were not made inside Unreal Engine. Made as in these assets were created inside a DCC tool, which can be Blender, Maya, Max. DCC stands for digital content creation, where you can create complex 3D assets. Unreal, as of now, does not allow you to create such complex 3D assets. So these assets might have been created in a DCC tool or software. But I want to emphasize this. Creating your own assets is always there, but design is something that is available, making it better, making it more useful for yourself. And for that, what we can do is we can use some third-party assets and create a level with that. So in order to use those third-party assets, in Unreal Engine, we have something called Marketplace. So let me show you the Marketplace first. The Marketplace is situated in our Epic Games launcher. So let me just click on that. So this is a marketplace. It is a place where third-party assets will be published. Now, what you can do is you can utilize these assets which are available in the marketplace and create something more useful for yourself. It is a great place to start prototyping your level, your games, before creating your own assets. So I can choose these audios, I can select this sci-fi samurai robot, and I can download this and add it inside my game and replace this with my own character as well. One of the best part of Unreal Marketplace is every month Unreal will give you 5 free assets. Okay, we have this free for the month tab, where in the marketplace every month they will be providing you 5 free assets. These are those 5 free assets for the month of Feb. As you can see, I am already owning them. So now what I can do is these are I can access them for lifetime, and I can use these assets and create my own level using these assets. So I have some meadows and mountains environment pack. I can use this. Similarly, I can have this exterior house, which I can place and design a particular level. So this is the best part which I like. And you can also browse through different categories. So let's say in the marketplace, I want to look for characters. I can look for characters for my game. But if you see carefully, these assets, some of them are paid. I don't want these paid assets. Let's say, how can I filter with free? I can filter them by clicking over here, free assets. Now, these are the free assets. I'm liking this Windwalker Echo character, which so now what I can do is I can add this to my cart and download this and import it inside my project and replace this character with replace the third person template character with my own character, which is this. Now, another best part of Unreal's marketplace is there is no royalty attached with it, which means if you bought a particular developer's asset, okay, and suppose your game becomes huge, you do not need to give any royalty to the developer of that particular asset. That is yours to keep. You do not need to give any royalty to that that developer. Now, like I said, creating your own asset is always there, but design is something that is available. In our case, we have marketplace, which is available. We can utilize marketplace and create levels out of it. So let's say if I go into environments, I can see what sort of environments are available. I can use these environments and create my own game using these environments. So that is it about our marketplace. Now let us come back to our level. assets. So these assets were also being imported from marketplace. Now, if you look closely, these assets were made in a modular structure. Modular in the sense where I can reuse these assets n number of times. Uh, so if I give you an example where we have Lego, where where we can use individual Lego pieces and create a huge structure. So similarly, I can use these individual assets which we have over here and create a huge level out of it. Level designs have different stages. So depending on what stage you are working, and let me just tell you what are those stages are. First, you'll be designing a particular level depending on your storyline uh, or your concept art, where you want your character to go from one place to another in a strategic way. And the next stage would be to add some lighting and materials to your level. Why? Because we want to know what sort of mood we want to create in our level. And the last stage, which I personally feel is doing some polishing work, which is basically giving some additional factor to that level, which can be done by doing some color grading, adding some particle effects, sound effects. So to give an additional factor to your entire level. Now, what I will do is I will show you the different stages of level design in a step-by-step process. First stage, let us see what sort of level we have created using only these assets. So let me show you what sort of level we have created using these assets. So I have added it inside a different map, and it's somewhere around here. Okay, let me just open that map. Now, this is the map. Let me make it full screen. And we can see those signs, windows currently have some emissive materials which are glowing. We'll talk about materials in a few minutes, but this is the very first stage where we have designed a particular level. But currently it's pitch black because there is no lighting information in this level. So that's why it's pitch black. But in order to see what sort of level we have made, what we can do is we can change the view of this current mode to unlit. So I can click on the lit view mode and change it to unlit. Now we can see that this is the level which we have created using only these assets which we saw earlier. So this is the entire level. Let me just go slowly and show you. If you remember, these are those same grungy looking walls. We have those same pipes, same ventilators over here. Signboards are used which are placed along the sides of the building. Now, before showing you the entire map, let me tell you a quick background story to create this level. It's a slum city which is on an island. So if you look around, we have, so this black part is our sea, we have some rocks, okay, and it is at the outskirts. So that's why over our horizon we have placed some city buildings over there, structures over there. One more thing is that this area, this region, the slum area is a playable area, and this is not a playable area. Now, playable area in the sense where a character can roam around this area, but the character cannot interact over there. So, in order to do level design, we also need to make sure that we have to optimize our levels so that it works equally well in all different machines who have different hardwares. Now, in order to optimize, so like I said, this is not a playable area. So we just wanted something at our horizon to see. So what we have done is we have just added cardboard images of cities. That's it. Because we knew that a player is not going to interact. So that's why we have just used instead of using 3D models, we have just used 2D images of cutouts of buildings. And from wherever we look at, it will just show us the silhouette of a particular structure. That is one of the optimization technique in order to do that. Uh, One more thing which I want to emphasize is the very first step of level design is blocking. Now, what is blocking? Let us have a look at that first. Excuse me. Blocking is something where I have given you some references where we have this example. It can be done by using some basic primitives. So this is what blocking means. So if you remember, this is the same medieval environment which I created, and I have done some blocking inside of over here, where it can be done using some basic primitive shapes. Why? Because we need to understand where we have to place a particular asset. So in this example, I have just used some basic shapes to understand where my fencing will be, where my different houses will be, where different trees I'm going to place depending on that environment. Um, Blocking also helps us to guide a particular player from one place to another, and along with that, it helps us to identify what is the scale of a particular environment. Now, uh, in this blocking example, if you look carefully at the in the blocking stage, I have added a cone at the back, which is representing as mountains. But in the final stage, I have not used a mountain. Now, what this is telling us is that uh, blocking is just an initial stage. It is not your final stage, which means there can be alterations. We can do a lot of changes and add them and change accordingly to a storyline. So I thought I do not need a particular mountain at the back, so I have not added it. If we wanted, depending on the storyline, we could have used that. So this is what blocking would look like. Another example of blocking would be like this one close-up shot, where I have understood where we have to place some trees, where I have to place individual assets. And if you look closely over here as well, in the blocking stage, I haven't added stairs over here. It's completely plain, flat. But in the final stage, I have added some staircase, which will lead towards the house. So like I said, blocking is just an initial stage. It is not a final stage. So this is what blocking will help us. It will help us to identify where we have to place our assets, and also to identify what is the scale of our entire map. Now, coming back to our map level, this is our starting area. This is where our player will spawn. So whenever we press play, this is the alley which uh, the player will come. I want to show you the alley, how it is made, and why this alley is important in order to convey a story. Uh, so we have used those same concrete walls, same pipes over here to place, identify. Okay, fine. We are going outside, and we see we have a passage where a staircase we are not able to access. Now, what this is telling us is we do not wanted the character to access this region. That's why we have blocked this region. Now in this case, we have used some trash cans and some broken wooden pieces. But why we have done that? Because according to our storyline, we did not wanted a character to access that region. That is why we have done that. One of the important use of where to place a particular asset and which type of asset to use is also important, because if you look carefully to this lamp, okay, which I am selected, this lamp is animating back and forth. Okay, now this lamp is also telling us a story, which means it is telling us that this lamp is somewhere near a windy place. Okay, as we all know, obviously we are near a windy place because we are on an island. That's why it is windy. So that is why it is moving back and forth. This is the power of level design, of telling or conveying a story. Similarly, if I go outside, I can see the cables are moving back and forth. Over here, similarly, cloth is animating, the trees are animating back and forth. We have to use those assets which can convey a story. Now, I'll give you an example for that. We have two scenarios. In the first scenario, the player enters a bedroom. The bedroom is clean, bed sheets are tucked in, so which means that nothing has happened over there. But in the second scenario, the player walks in the same bedroom. Now the bedroom is messy, bed sheets are torn apart, and we have, let's say, we have some blood splatter on a wall. Now, what is happening in the second scenario is it is conveying a story that something might have happened over there. That is the power of level design. You need to make sure that what are those assets and where I am going to place all those assets is also important. Now, as and blocking is one of the important steps to identify those stages where I have to place those individual assets. Coming to, so now when we coming outside of a alley, so this is our alley. Over here, we have two paths, which is we have where one is telling us to go upstairs, another one is we can access the downstairs area. But depending during the depending on the storyline, what we wanted is we do not wanted the character to access this area. That's why we have place block that region with some of the assets, broken assets, which can use whichever assets is available for you. If you want your character to access that area, just delete them, just place them in a structure way. Because like I said, in level design, you want to guide your player in a strategic way, not in a random way. So but in this case, we do not wanted the character to go this area, so that's why we have blocked it. And now what we want to do is we want the character to guide and go from here to a highlight, which is the city, slum city, which has been created using where we have placed slum houses on top of each other. This is what level design is, where very first step is you will be blocking your level, entire levels. Why? Because we need to identify where we can place individual assets, and also to understand the scale of our environment, and to guide a player from one place to another in a strategic way. This is the very first stage of level design where we'll be placing all these assets. Now I'll be showing you the second stage of level design, which is adding lights to your level, which is one of the important visual aspect of any level. So what I've done is I've also created a lighting level. Let me just open that up. Excuse me. Now, this is the level. Now, currently we are inside the unlit mode, so that's why we are not able to see the lighting information. What I will do is I'll change it to lit mode again. And this is what the lighting we have done. As you can see, it is a night time, and we have added some lights at a window at the top. So if I move my light, I can see the light is there. We have added some lights over there. But depending on the storyline was it should have been nighttime. So that's why we have added, if you look, we have added a sky which has dark clouds. Similarly, we also have some moon which is casting in light on a sea, on a sea over there. Another thing, lighting is also where we speak about in Unreal Engine, it is real time. So if I want to show you for that, let me go inside this alley, which is dark, and we have some glowing stick over here. Now what I'll do is I'll just play this level and show you what real time means. So now currently I'm able to control my character. Okay, now I'm inside this level. I'm just moving over here. Now, wherever my character is going. So if you see, look carefully. Now my character is under a darker shade, so that's why it is not getting lit. Now, the moment my character walks under the lamp, which has having the warmer color, it is being casted on my character. This is what real time means. It is getting updated in real time. We are not waiting for a particular render. If my character goes outside of the area, we see that I'm now getting able to see my moonlight has been casted on my character. which is on over there. My moonlight, my character is getting, the half of my character is getting lit by the moonlight, another half is dark. So this is what real time means. Another important aspects of lighting is to which is similar to our level design, using placing all those assets, is to guide a player. If you look carefully, when we were coming outside of the alley, on the left hand side, we have the street light which is telling us that we have to go towards that direction, but towards this right hand side, it's completely blocked and it's pitch black, which means that we do not need to go over here. So if you might have seen while playing a particular game, lights are also there for you to guide. So this is guiding me over here, so I have to follow this direction. Similarly, it is telling me that these are the staircase, and to look at a highlight, which is the slum city which has been created. I can also access this alley and see what is inside over here, which is amazing. Why? Because the light is being casted on my character. This is what real time means, and it is getting updated in real time. Now I was getting a cooler or bluish tone. Now over here we have some red tone, and which is getting casted on my character. This is what real time lighting means inside of Unreal Engine. Now, let me show you another example of how we can change a particular light color, or basically how we can get a mood for a particular light level. So we will go inside this alley. So let me just get outside of this game mode and we'll go towards our alley where our character spawns. Over here, we have this glow stick, which is just casting light over here in this region. Now what I want to do is, I want to change this tone. I'm not liking this color tone, which is blue and cool tone. What I can do is, this is the light which is responsible in order to which is responsible to cast light. Now what I can do is, I can change the light color. Okay, if you guys remember, like I said, if you want to change any actor's properties, we'll have to go towards the details panel. So this is where I'll be changing my light color, and I can do that over here. I can click on the light color. There's a property name called light color, and if you see closely, I have some predefined colors which say warmer. It has been updated real time. Now it is not like I have already predefined some colors. I can change any color and it is getting updated in real time. This is the power of Unreal Engine or any game engine, where we do not need to wait for a particular render. And it has helped a lot of people in the industry to use these kind of technology, because it is very time saving. It is not tedious for us to work in this kind of workflow. Now I'll change it to warmer tone because I want to make it warmer. I can click on OK. So this is already there. Now let me just play it and see if it's updated or not. Yes, it has updated. My character is getting lit with that warmer color. Now, other part, I don't know if you might have noticed or not, but if in a art design way, it is not accurate, because if you see, the light is being casted warmer, but the source is still glowing as blue. So what we need to do is, we need to change the source color as well. So in order to do that, in this case, it is using an emissive material. So materials and lighting go hand in hand inside Unreal Engine, where if you want to see a particular asset, we need lighting information. But in order to see some work on a particular asset, what type of variant has happened to that asset, we need materials. So in this case, we have an emissive material on this glow stick, which is a 3D asset. So at the right hand side, I can go inside this material and I have this material which is already attached, and this material has an emissive color property. So this is the material editor. This material has this emissive color. What I can do is, I can go over here and change the emissive color to let's say to the same color, which is warmer. Now it is, the source is also warm. So you need to make sure that what sort of materials are using. Now, let me just, okay, this is fine. But in Unreal Engine, uh, Unreal uses a PBR material workflow. Now, what is PBR? Let me tell you that. First is, let me show you what is PBR. PBR stands for physically based rendering, okay, which means that it will allow you to simulate any existing material which is in real world. And with PBR, what we are trying to do is we are trying to achieve light's actual behavior, which means that with PBR materials, whatever the lighting condition is, it will work equally well in any lighting conditions. And in the end, it will give us a realistic looking environment, a natural looking environment. So if I go back to our environment, if you see carefully, now currently we have this warmer tone, but if you look closer to, we have this the pillar, some stairs over here. These materials, whenever we were changing a light, it was getting updated and it was looking natural. Why? Because if you see, I'm changing my color of light and those materials are behaving in a realistic and natural looking way because of PBR workflow. Unreal uses PBR workflows, and that is the best part of it, because you can create any existing material which is in our real world. So if I want to create, let's say, the stainless steel material inside of Unreal Engine, I can do that, and it will be accurate to the T. So what I can do is, this is what PBR material is. So let me just change it to warmer tone. Now let me just show you the material which the pillar has. So if I want to do that, I'll open up that material editor. So this is the material which is currently added on our wall, pillar wall, where I can see, okay, we have some tiles, we have some different tiles over here, we have some variations of on a particular tile. Now, in this material editor, the functionality is already created for us, but I wanted to show you the real time of materials as well. Why? Because if I click on, we have this property called water, which is wet. And if I check this checkbox, now see what happens. And if you look closely over here, let me just make it full screen so that we can see. Water is dropping on the surface of a material. This is what materials are also using real-time workflow, and this is happening because of the PBR workflow, and it is getting updated. So if I want any water surfaces dripping on the surface of particular mesh or any material, I can do that with the help of materials. And this is the beauty of Unreal Engine, and I absolutely love it. When I go back, I don't want this water because we are currently inside a confined place, which we don't want. So water dripping. So what I can do is I can say that I do not need to have water. So I can say, switch it off. That is the best part. When So let me just show you all this environment. So this is the second stage, which I was talking about, where light and materials, lighting your environment and having materials in your project is very much important, or in your level is very much important, to show you what all the visual aspects of a level are. Now, the final stage, now if you look closely, again one more thing which I wanted to show you is, if you look closely, there's no, we have done lighting inside this level, but there's no extra X factor to this level. So what we can do is we can have that additional X factor with the help of using some polishing works, which can be adding some color grading, adding some particle effects. So let me show you the final stage of level design, which is some post-processing, which I have done. And let me don't save this. And This is the map which has been added with some post-processing, where you can see we have some fog at the distance. Why? Because we wanted to have a sense of depth. And we have, I don't know, in the webinar, are you able to see, but we have some rain particle effects which are dropping. And if you go back to our alley, we have some sparks coming out of a wire. And if you go ahead, and then we can see some papers are flowing, and then a map, and we have some steam which is coming out of a pipe. Different variations of steam are also there. Over here, if I show you, we have added steams coming out of huge pipes. So this is what will happen when you add an extra factor, do some polishing work inside your level. Because earlier it was just bland. Now we have just added some steams, which maybe like something is happening over there to tell or convey a storyline. Now, when I press play, when I play this game, we have also added some sound effects, which is telling us that, oh, rain is pouring down. Okay, I can go back. Sparks audio is also coming. I can go outside, I can see, roam around. I can see clearly that we have some fogs in there, and we have some rain droplets on a floor as well. So these are the polishing techniques which you require or add in order to make your level to have an X factor in it. Now, this is what level design stages are. The very first stage, let me just come out of this. The very first stage we saw was do some blocking. Why? Because in order to identify what is the scale of an environment. Second stage was to add some lighting and use PBR workflow, PBR materials, so that we get a realistic looking environment and have some real-time lights as well. The third stage, we saw that adding some steam, adding some fogs, particle effects, sound effects, takes your level to a whole next level. So these are the stages of a design aspects. Now, games are not only limited to design; it is also about the development part. Development stages are also requirement is necessary. Now, when we talk about development, what do I mean by that? Development in the case where how I want to control a character, when would I want to play a particular sound, what sort of AIs I want in my game. Now, to do that inside Unreal Engine, we have something called blueprints. Let me show you what are blueprints. Blueprint is a form of visual scripting. So there are some people who like programming, and there are others who do not. Those programmers who like to type in line of codes, either in C++ or whichever language they prefer, they can do that. But there are others who do not like to type in line of codes, or they do not come from a programming background. Maybe they are level designers, artists, etc. So blueprint in Unreal Engine is a way of scripting those same line of codes, but in a form of visual way, which can be done by connecting series of nodes which have some sort of functionality already in them. Which means, so if we have certain examples where programmers, those who know programmers, they will be using Visual Studio to type in their line of codes, which is still available, but in those who are not aware of programming, or those who do not want to learn programming, they can use Unreal's blueprinting and make their game interactive. Now, in this case, I have an example where it's similar to a flowchart, where we have just 3 nodes which are connected to each other. And what this is saying is, whenever my game begins, I want to play a particular audio. That's it. You just need to say when and what, and sometimes how. These 3 questions need to be answered with the help of node structure. you can make and publish your game using blueprinting. That's it. And there are many more games which are right now available at stores which have used only blueprinting. No single line of code has been written inside of the development stages. So if anyone says to you that you need to know programming in order to make a game, it's not necessary. You have Unreal Engine blueprinting, which will help you to make your game interactive. This is the part of the development stage. I will also show you one example where I have created a small little blueprint inside our alley. Let me show that. Now, as we remember, and this is the lamp which is animating, but over here there was a light which was there. Now I have toggled that light off. Now, what I want to do is I want my character, whenever my character comes close to this light, I want that light to switch on automatically. And when my character goes away from that light, I want that light to toggle it back off. So I have already created a blueprint for that. So let me show you what is that blueprint and how does it look like. So I'll go inside the blueprint section and open the level blueprint. And let me just dock it over here. And this is a small little blueprint which has been created. Let me show you how it is working. So you can look at the bottom of our screen. I'll just make it over here, place it over here as well. Now, when I press play, now see what happens. I'm controlling my character. The moment I reach near the lamp, if you guys, you can look at the bottom side of the window, something will trigger. It is triggering. It is a node-based structure, like a flow chart, what needs to trigger and when needs to trigger. So I am inside that area, the box trigger. So that's why it has toggled the light off, on. If I go away, it will toggle back off. That's it. In order to do just this minimum functionality, we are able to do that with the help of some basic nodes which we can use inside of Unreal Engine. We do not need to go inside Visual Studio and type in line of codes. These nodes have functionality already in them. We just need to use them and connect them and make our game interactive. That's it. Let me just come outside of this level. So this is what for today's workshop is design and development stage. Now, let me tell you this. I have not even scratched the surface of Unreal Engine. I've just shown you what it is capable of and what it can do. And in order to make 3D and amazing 3D environments and to learn in depth about the software, for that we have the Unreal Engine Bootcamp course, which can help you get started with Unreal Engine. Now, what I will do is I will show you the Pearl Edge website where you can log in and get more information about it. So let me show you that. So if you want, you can visit us at pearledge.com. And this is a website where you can get more information about courses which we are offering. And you can get information, you can browse our catalog. As Aviral said, we have partnered with one of the world's leading animation school, Trazos, to provide you with the highest quality teaching. And let us look at the different courses which we offer. We can go inside the courses, and these are the cutting edge courses which we are providing. You can get more information about them over here. Now, I'll just give you a brief introduction what I will be doing with Pearl Edge, which is Unreal Engine Bootcamp course. So let us look at that and what this course includes. Now, let me just give you a brief introduction. This course will be introducing you to Unreal Engine. And it is like I said, it is one of the popular platforms for game development and creating cutting edge 3D environments. This course is designed for absolute beginners, where I'll be teaching you some of the basics of how you can create your first project, how to navigate inside Unreal Engine, what are some of the hotkeys, how to create your own first material, which will be a PBR material, and how to make it optimize depending on different hardwares. Similarly, different types of lights which are available in order to make a game real time, and how to set up a volumetric fog, how to create your own terrain using the landscape tool, where we can create we can use the terrain tool and create amazing beautiful environments with the help of terrain tools. Similarly, like we saw, we'll talk about blueprints, where how we can make a game interactive with how what all is available. Let's say different types of blueprints which are there. And lastly, we'll also look at the cameras and post processing, and we'll also look at how we can animate a camera, like as you saw in the medieval forest video, how we can get a cinematic video outside using Unreal Engine. So by the end of this course, you will be able to create amazing 3D environments, and you'll know how to approach a design for games and real-time projects. So that is it about today's workshop. If you want to contact us, you can contact our advisor and we'll get back to you. But if you want, these are social handles, and you can contact us whatever information regarding different courses we are offering at Pearl Edge. And if time is permitting, we can answer your questions. And if you want, you put your questions on chat. We'll be trying to we'll be addressing them. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to add them.
Thank you so much, Raj. Sorry to interrupt you, but this was an insightful session. And I think there are two more questions which we need to answer. Also, we would like to inform everybody that we're offering up to 100% scholarships for all our programs, and this is definitely an icing on the cake. And this is something which we've not really heard about. And I will request everybody to please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, all our other social media handles. We will be announcing this scholarship program shortly, and a few lucky scholars will get an opportunity to get the fee completely waived off. So please stay tuned on our social media handles. As I mentioned earlier, that our batch begins in May, and we are currently accepting applications. So for those who are really interested to pursue our courses, can leave us with their contact information on our website, pearledge.com, or you can apply. You can click on the apply now button, and we will get in your contact details and get in touch with you. Yeah, if there are any further questions, then we would love to answer it. Raj, there's one. Okay, I think Arun is already answering two questions. Yeah, I hope you found today's session pretty insightful, and I did, because honestly, before a couple of weeks I did not have any information about Unreal Engine and what virtual production is all about. So I definitely feel like pursuing one of the courses from Pearl Edge myself. And given an opportunity, if Arun and Raj allows me, I will definitely like to enroll myself for one of the bootcamp programs, because
Definitely.
because there are obviously so many other things as well to take care of. But yes, it was really insightful. So yeah, I think we should be good to go then. Yeah, Raj, is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Nothing else. If you, like I said, if you want any information regarding our courses or today's workshop, which we did, you can contact us. That's it. And I'm very glad that I did this workshop, and I was able to share my knowledge with you guys. Thank you for
Yeah.
allowing me to do that.
Yeah, so I think Mariam is asking us a few questions, and she's asking if if I can request probably Arun to answer it live for us. So these courses, I mean, just to give you an overview, but the courses are done from the scratch, and there is no prior knowledge as such which is required for anybody to have before joining the program. Uh,
Do you want me to answer some of Mariam's questions here on the live talk? Because I think she's asked that. Yeah. Or you want to
sure.
just, yeah, we can just
I think we can do that, Arun. We can just address
Hi,
it.
Mariam, some of the things you were saying, is this the same as a master's degree? Obviously, it's not a master's degree. These are part-time courses, but in terms of the kind of knowledge you gain, the master certificate courses probably are much better than some other master's degrees, because there's a lot of information packed into it. These courses are very hands-on. That means you actually create stuff, you create games, you create animations, you create a portfolio. Very often other courses are more theory. They have a balance of theory and and practice. Here our courses are completely practical driven. They enable you to get the skills that you need to get a job in the industry. That's the focus of this course. Does that answer you, Mariam? And of course, we'll be helping you with placements with the top studios, since we got a lot of affiliations, and then not just studios, even TV channels. We have a lot of affiliations, and we'll help you get placed. I guess that answers that.
Yeah, I think we are good to go then. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining in. And we do hope you had a wonderful time learning and attending this workshop today. And yes, we will look forward to hear from you. I'm sure we will have a lot of queries from you. And with this, I would like to, bid goodbye and wrap up this session. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye-bye.